Julia and Marlin Sharp recently went on a 50th wedding anniversary cruise from French Polynesia to Hawaii. By wonderful happenstance, some of Julia's childhood friends booked the same cruise tour. One of these friends is Sally Canon Ellis. Sally is an accomplished painter with an emphasis on watercolor. Being a very ambitious child, Sally found ways to keep busy. In her younger years, she filled her interests in pastel painting and drawing. Later, her interest grew within the art world and eventually was invited to teach a watercolor class. This continued, with 22 years teaching at Ricks College that later became Brigham Young University, Idaho. She also taught watercolor classes at BYU. Sally holds an associate's degree from Ricks College, a bachelor's degree from Brigham Young University, and a master's in adult education from the University of Idaho. During the 12-day expedition, while the rest of us were engaged in photography and videography, Sally devoted time each day to painting watercolor papers depicting the breathtaking surroundings. Sally did a lot of plein air watercolors, outdoors aboard the ship, observing her landscape subject directly.
Today we're at Raiatea in French Polynesia on the islands. We went on the 13th floor of the Norwegian ship. We did a plein air painting out in the ocean side at the end of the island. We caught the blue-green water and the ultramarine blue water of the reef. As I said, this is plein air painting. This is done on Kilimanjaro 300-pound paper. I generally start in my landscapes, I start at the top of the painting and work down. As I work through this, I make sure I have my light, middle tone darks in my mind before I ever start this painting. But we started at the top and came down. I changed the mountains a couple times because the values were just too dark, and it's so easy to get this too dark. But as we were painting this, we could see a storm coming towards us, and the rain was coming. So we tried to go as fast as we could to get the sun before it disappeared. This is also done in gouache, opaque watercolor. It's my newfound love the last 2 years that I've been working in. I've been doing that for studies. I'll take this small study and I will move this into a full sheet watercolor, which is 29 by 22. And I'll also move it to a 36 by 48 oil painting. But I always start with these small studies so I get all the kinks out before I ever start my painting. Because it's got to be planned well, and I got to know exactly what I want to do and how I want to do it before I ever start the game. But this was the finished product, and we were here with friends, and I had friends surrounded me as we painted this piece, which made it extra special.
French Polynesia is an obvious paradise, not only for the tourist's eye, but also as a sanctuary for the artist to capture the captivating beauty. Sally Ellis took advantage of this vacation to watercolor a number of exciting scenes daily. Sally's talent for artworks is similar to that of a concert pianist who gallantly practices every day. Julia and I gave a try at watercolor. We performed with borrowed brushes and colors, under the tutorage of the master. At least we were not afraid to give it a go. Our amateurish attempt was not all that bad.
This is Kilimanjaro paper. This is 140 pounds, like 300 pounds as well. I always tape it off to make a border. And that white border is the best part when you take off the tape. Always break it up into fours
on the masking tape so that I know where I am in space, because it's really easy to get lost. And so on this, for this sunset, I'm going to use a wet and wet method, and hopefully we get the water right and we get the pigment right, and the viscosity is just right. And so I've got my pigments all mixed, ready to go, except for this blue. Here we are, we're gonna wet the paper. Usually I let gravity work, but today I'm painting flat. If this was a really big sheet, I would really be in trouble, because it'll puddle. I'm gonna start with my lightest values first. I'm gonna come in and just lay in the pigment. So let's start up here in the sky. This is cobalt teal, and it's a granulate, and so that means it leaves kind of like sand particles on a beach, and so it will leave particles. Ultramarine blue is also a granulator. It doesn't granulate as much as cobalt teal. Now we're going to come in here with this really vivid orange. Once again, it's the lightest light in the painting. And that's pretty vivid, all right. It's a little strong, so I'm going to take some of it off. There we go. That's better. It's very opaque. I'm going to repeat some of this color up into the sky. Is it there? A dab. Not too much. And so I'm just giving it some, I lay it in and then kind of give it a dot dot. And what that does is it's called stepping. It's a principle of design, and it'll move you up. The steps take you up to where you want the viewer to look. And hopefully that's where we want it to look.
We made friends with one of the ship's crew, Winnie Chung Hoi Wen from China, who became intrigued by what we were doing. Jay Ellis, Sally's husband, served a mission in Taiwan, so he easily conversed with the ship's Chinese crew in their native language.
Thank you.
This is Indianthrone blue. It's kind of a Levi color. It's very much the color of the ocean here. And I'm going to put in a little quinacridone rust. Well, this is quite wet, I hope. Yeah, it is. Once again, here we are with the stepping. It's kind of spreading a lot, and so I'm going to add a little more color because it lightened as it spread, but I don't want a lot of water. So here we go, we're going to lay that dark back in on the bottom, and that'll weight the bottom of the cloud. Yeah, we needed that. That was a good choice. We have this cerulean blue and cobalt teal reflecting into the water. And so I'm gonna mix these two colors together. I don't want it too vivid. And so rather than using ultramarine blue, which is saturation strength is really strong, I'm gonna use Indianthrone blue. And it's just a step lower in saturation. Okay, I am now going to put in the ocean. I'm going to leave just a little bit of a white edge, just to enhance it. Let's lighten it right here. That's taking our eye off, so I'm going to soften that. Soften that. There, that's better. See that little horizon, how that popped that? And then you got an orange-blue contrast. That'll even emphasize it. And when we're done, we'll hang it up and step back and see if we like it or not, because it might be too much. It might be more than the painting can bear. The value is quite a bit darker on the bottom. It's starting to dry here a little bit. It was a little bit wetter when I put that blue in, and so it's creating what we call a blossom. And so I'm just gonna soften that edge, but I don't want that to be the focal point. Now this cobalt blue is what we call a settler, and we can place that in there, and it's going to push everything else out of the way. And so it'll intensify that color. I think that was a good choice. I want a little orange in here. Whoop. Not that little. This is the scary part because it can make it go dirty. I love this, how it's bleeding up, and I want to, I'm going to darken it one more time, just a little bit here. Oh, now we're getting the viewer to look at the cloud. I've got to be sure that my dit dots are all the same size. So I'm going to create a mass. There we go. I'm going to just touch that edge with my brush and soften it so it doesn't look like a ship floating in the sky. Okay, let's pop a little more of that yellow orange in there. Let's see if if the painting can bear it. No, we can't. Okay. But it needs to be just a little more vivid. Ooh, I love taking just a little bit of that out. See how that changed the value?
Absolutely.
Let's come in and just soften this edge. I want it darker at the bottom. So enhance with blue. And I actually think this is good number. I rarely use it. There, that weighted it. It's really wet. Let's put a little dark down here for perspective. Because the clouds up at the top will be larger, the clouds towards the bottom will be small. Okay. I need to stop or it'll just get muddy. Okay, step away from the painting.
Okay.
Best part coming up. Lots of tape. Soften this edge. Just use water. And I'm lifting out on this edge right here so it's soft. I'm going to pull this dark across so that it pulls the eye all the way over. Yeah, good choice. Okay. Let's hang it up and see if we like it. when I stepped back about 10 feet, this orange color and this orange was the same color. It was a little bit lighter, but it was so close the same, the variation wasn't exciting to me. And so I popped in a little more intensity of yellow-orange right next this white and the blue, and it popped it and made it a lot more lively and interesting. Otherwise, it would have got lost. And so sometimes just those little steps, but you have to be careful because sometimes the painting can't bear it. It's too much. But this one I think was okay. And tomorrow, if it's too strong, I can soften it and light it up.
On a quiet shore, just you and I.
When the cruise ship arrived in Nawiliwili, Kauai, Hawaii, Sally painted the harbor, emphasizing mountains in the background.
Beneath the moon, on a starry night, fooling around romancing. Your voice soft and clear, dreaming of our plans. Troubles disappear, just holding hands. And I want you more than words can say, more than any love song that ever played, like the ocean